Hello everyone, welcome to the Jewish Week Online. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. How do we solve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? We have the opportunity to speak with Noa Epstein, co-founder of the innovative project MEET. MEET blends technology in bringing together Israeli and Palestinian youth. Let's take a closer look. Every year, trying to figure out the Arab-Israeli conflict. There's a lot of interesting projects that have targeted the younger generation to try to help bridge that gap. And Meet is really interesting, utilizing technology and projects to do something disruptive and interesting. So tell us a little bit about the program.
Okay, so MEET is a non-profit organization that is celebrating 10 years of impact next week. We run a 3-year intensive educational excellence program that brings together Israeli and Palestinian high school students from the age of 15 to 17 over the course of 3 years during high school. During a summer program that's 5 weeks in Jerusalem, and then a year-long program from September to May that we run at our program hubs in Jerusalem and in Nazareth. And our goal is to create an active network of young change makers by bringing together excelling youth and leveraging the trends of technology, youth, and entrepreneurship. So we teach the common language of technology and entrepreneurship in partnership with MIT. We have volunteer instructors from the computer science and the business departments coming from MIT every summer to teach the students. And then in the year long, our alumni teach on the program. Back in 2004, the vision of the founders was to create an opportunity for Israelis and Palestinians to meet in a constructive environment. And through developing a common language of interest to them and really building on technology, both as an outcome, the kind of projects that we can do to influence the region in a positive way, but also using it as a medium to bring people together, especially young people, with the trends in technology being very relevant. That was a means of creating this active network that is so vital and needed for a lasting, sustainable solution in the region to come about. Because we fundamentally believe that no matter what the final status agreement between Palestinians and Israelis will look like eventually, and there will be a solution at some point politically. No matter what that will look like, there has to be that leadership group on both sides that knows how to work together, that knows how to get things done, that trusts each other, and that can really lead. I think that's really one of the biggest problems we have in the region at the moment. The lack of vision, the lack of leadership on both sides to really pull the two societies into a better period.
Can you share with us a project that's happening this summer?
Absolutely. So we have 160 students. Half of them are Israeli, half are Palestinian, half are girls, half are boys, and they're working on different projects and at different degrees of difficulty, let's say, in technology and in business. The year one students, the newcomers, are learning basic coding. They're getting introduced to Python, programming language, and they're building computer applications such as games and other things. Year two is working on more advanced projects around building websites. One example is one group is developing like a joint narrative website where people can collaboratively collect stories and tell a story narrative online. Year three is doing more entrepreneurial projects, for example, working on an application which will enable you to set a route around, for example, Jerusalem, a route for jogging or for some kind of sport activities, and it sets you specific tasks that you have to do. But of course, these students are working collaboratively, and a lot of them come from the Jerusalem area, from east and west, and so they're building this together, both conceptually and physically, actually coding the application. In our entrepreneurship curriculum, we have 50% computer science, 50% entrepreneurship. The students are developing different kinds of business plans for innovative projects that they're coming up with. I don't yet know the details. We're waiting to see presentations happen next week. But the environment here is really bustling with interested and eager and very smart students from both sides who are coming to achieve and to meet each other in the process and learn how to work together.
One of the interesting things about this program is that we really try to bring together people from different backgrounds, different religions. What happens after the program? You know, when you're doing a summer program, even throughout the year, sometimes you can feel like you're in a silo. What happens with the interaction with the students during the course of the year?
Mm-hmm. So one thing I really love about MEET, and that's really important to us, is that the reality that we create does not become a siloed bubble reality. We on purpose chose to run this program in the region, so we run it in Jerusalem and then in the year long also in Nazareth, and we're making it intensive. It's 800 hours, academic hours over 3 years, so the students have MEET as part of their everyday life. In the summer, they're giving up essentially 5 weeks of summer holiday to come to MEET and be here full time. In the year long, they come once a week to the hub and they have a 3.5-hour class working again in groups on their projects. Now, what happens after, that's the students in the background, they just achieved something. What happens after the 3-year program is critical to MEET's success. We believe that MEET's impact will be measured through our alumni and where they're at and the kind of things they'll do in the future to shape the region. And so we right now have 163 alumni who've graduated since 2004, and we're engaging them in 3 major ways. One is network building, making sure we have monthly events and opportunities for them to physically meet up, but also using online platforms such as Google Hangout to engage people who are studying abroad, who are not able to attend physically. Over 75% of our alumni are actively engaged, which is a big amount given, you know, the age group they're at. A lot of them, of the Israelis, are in the army at this age. The oldest are 24, we need to remember, because we're only 10 years old. And in terms of the second way of engagement, we do professional development activities and access to opportunities. So everything from workshops on how to write a CV, how to apply to universities for scholarship here and abroad. We've just launched an international mentoring program, so connecting people from MEET's network, be they people who work at Google, Facebook, and Twitter, to our alumni who are interested in pursuing different career opportunities or even becoming entrepreneurs. And the third, and I think most exciting way of ensuring that MEET's impact is taken to the next level is through a space that we launched last January of this year, which we call the Venture Lab. And the Venture Lab is in Jerusalem, and it's a platform for our alumni to have a dry run at being an entrepreneur. So they get to be admitted to the Venture Lab for a 4-month wave in which they can actually lead their own social or business initiatives. So we just finished the first wave, and we had 4 teams, some of which were binational, working on projects from a mobile app that is called Count Me In and is about helping people coordinate events at a very large scale, so like a massive demonstration or a big campaign. If you want to get people to save electricity for 2 days, they can click Count Me In, and these guys, you know, come up with a concept and actually build the solution. Another project example is the first laundrette cafe in Ramallah that one of our alums who's studying at Birzeit University is developing as a social gathering place where you can also do your laundry, which doesn't exist at the moment in Ramallah. And that, in terms of impact, you know, would create economic impact on the Palestinian side, which is part of our understanding of how regional impact can be done and change to the status quo can be made. So those 3 ways, the networking, professional development, and the Venture Lab, are really where MEET is going. Primarily the Venture Lab and the types of projects we're looking to support and to create access for MEET alumni to be part of.
One of the parts that I think are really unique to your program is that you're thinking, you're future-proofing, peace in a way. If you can create a sustainable economics for youth to get involved in something exciting and connect with peers from the Israeli and Palestinian side, you really do something different. Where do you think this program will go in the next 2-3 years?
I think we're at a critical stage of expansion. We've been through 10 years and developed a proof of concept for the MEET model. The way we've proved it is that we have a growing demand for the program, and that's not to be taken for granted, because I'd say that peace building is a space that has undergone a lot of challenge in the last years, especially the last decade, and having the ability to pull the type of Israelis and Palestinians that we bring into this program, who are really top, cream of the crop in their years at school, not the types of people who normally perhaps were more willing to engage in binational encounters, and our ability to do that, or having this year 1,000 applicants for 70 spots in year one, so less than 7% are accepted. Our ability to do that is because we've built this excellence model that even if you strap away the Israeli and Palestinian aspect, you're left with a very, very strong MIT-affiliated program. And so in the next years, our vision and our goal is to build on this proof of concept and really scale the impact. And the way we're trying to do that is, by doubling the number of students that are enrolled in the program at a given time. So we started off back in 2004 with 30 students. Now we have 160 students this summer, which is going to grow in the next couple of years to 200 students in a given time over the 3 years. So that's one thing, just getting more people through the program while maintaining the excellence model. So we're not a numbers game. We invest in leaders with the goal of having a ripple effect through leaders impacting their communities. The second is that we opened a new program hub in Nazareth last year. So for the first time, we're bringing not only Israelis and Palestinians from the West Bank, we're also including Palestinian citizens of Israel in the program, which kind of comes full circle in terms of the groups involved in the conflict, which is very important. And the third is the alumni program, which is something new we're excited to be building at the moment, and developing very important partnerships such as with Google, who is an official partner of the Venture Lab, and our alumni get to go to Google Bootcamp and get mentors and courses and advice, and just trying to really make the right network connections. MEET is all about a network. It's about the binational network we're building up, and it's about leveraging MEET's international networks with MIT and Google and beyond in order to achieve positive change in the region, be it social, political, or economic. So that's really where we're looking to go, is create regional projects coming out of this Venture Lab, building on the impact that our alumni already are having, but scaling that to be much, much wider.
As you can see, technology is a wonderful way to bring Israelis and Palestinians together to solve a difficult issue of the Arab-Israeli conflict. This is Aaron Herman. Thanks for watching.